Oh my gosh.
All right, we'll reconvene the meeting at 5:20. New business. Teamsters Local 320 Stern wage grievance. So, Eric, we just met with our legal counsel, and we can probably save you some breath.
So I make a motion that we grant the request and that we reimburse her the full year salary that she should have gotten the day she was out.
To resolve the grievance. Thank you.
I'll second that.
Roll call?
Hoheisel.
Yes.
Lassie.
Yes.
White.
Yes.
Anderson.
Yes.
Lossing.
All right, thank you, gentlemen, appreciate it. And I'll send you guys a letter withdrawing agreements and
Thank you.
Okay.
Thanks, bud.
All right, we're on number 9, public input. Do we have any public input today? Little guy in the back. All right, seeing none. Move on to additions or deletions. A public safety committee recommendation to grant leave of absence to Sherry Farrell and Andy Gilovich from the ambulance. B, public safety. Oh. Let's see. Yes, we're doing a new business I. D, Public Safety Committee recommendation to appoint Troy Bissonette as interim assistant ambulance director. Under new business J. C, delete item 15D ordinance number 261 regarding loitering at the beach boat landing. B and K. New business. D, schedule 2024 budget meeting. Will be under new business L. Transfer of funds, E. New business M.
Move to approve the additions and deletions.
Second.
Clarification on this, I think they need a transfer of funds. Need to go for, the consent agenda so that we're paying, because that's passing. So I need to go under, 11E. Yeah, 11E. I think that's where it's.
So we'll make it 11A, is what you're saying?
It'll be 11E.
On the consent agenda.
Oh, E, okay.
And then we actually delete it to make the item 15 ordinance. So that doesn't have to be on the agenda. We're just, it's all right.
Oh, yeah. I was looking for it. I didn't-
Yeah, I didn't see it on there, so.
Okay, consent agenda, item number 11, approve minutes of the regular meeting of July 11, 2023. Approval of bills, payrolls as audited by the audit committee. C, overtime report. D, correspondence. Oh, yeah. And 11E, transfer of funds.
Make motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
I just have a quick question before we vote. What is this transfer of funds consist of? Is that putting money into their accounts or taking money away from them?
It's transferring the library and record appropriations, you should have a small sheet.
Yeah, I saw a small sheet of the amount, but it doesn't say, so we're transferring it to them.
Correct.
Okay, well, that's all I'm asking.
It's from last year's budget. It's
Gotcha.
Quarterly, it is a transfer.
Okay, thank you.
Motion by Hoheisel, second by Lassie to accept the consent agenda. Roll call?
Hoheisel,
Yes.
Lassie.
Yes.
White,
Yes,
Anderson.
Yes.
Lossing.
Yes. 12, attorney's report. You there, Mitch?
Mitch?
Yeah, I'm here. Nothing additional to report.
Number 13, unfinished business. Nothing on unfinished business. 14, committee report. Go ahead. You have some? No, okay. 14, committee reports, steering committee meeting minutes. Right in here. Any question on those, Joe? I can answer those questions.
There's just, one thing I noticed, on here was on May 11th one. Present was Dwayne Rossi as mayor, street supervisor Chamberlain, and Les Parsons. Absent, none. Mr. White, you were
I was absent.
absent. They need to have that, have the sheet here.
Any other discussion on committee report, or steering committee minutes? Moving on to B, hire Logan Nesco, pending background check, is backup teen center attendant.
He's one of our summer workers and he's interested in being a fill-in when Sheila can't make it. I think we should give him a shot.
Last time pending, did we do this last meeting pending?
We did that
background report?
we did that at the board, at our rec
Oh,
board
I'm sorry.
meeting, so now I'm,
That's right, okay.
I make a motion that we go, I make a motion that, we go ahead and, pending the background checks, hire Logan Mesco for that position.
I'll second that.
Is there an age limit over there for teen center as
I-
people to watch them? I mean, is he?
I believe 18, and he's 18 now.
Okay. Question.
Motion by White, second by, supported by Anderson, to hire Logan Nesco. Any other discussion? Roll call?
Hoheisel,
Yes.
Lassie.
Yes.
White,
Yes,
Anderson.
Yes.
Lossing.
Yes. Moving on to new business, union negotiations, A.
I would assume.
No, we do not. We need to set up a day, probably mid-August, to meet with all of the union and supervisors.
Did you guys get a request for August 1st?
I don't see one in there.
Yes. August 1st is yes.
for the union.
To open negotiations, yeah.
I'll make a motion that we start union negotiations August 1st at normal council time, 5 p.m.
Straight day.
We'll have to check with Eric.
Does it have to be there today?
That's,
usually during the day, council meetings are fairly busy and maybe negotiations drag on. So, we've usually done it during the day.
Could we push that as late as we could in the day, so Joe and I could attend?
Like around maybe 1, does that work?
I
I should do 1.
typically, how much time do you need?
Sometimes it goes to 10 minutes, sometimes it goes,
Okay.
yeah, it goes, yeah, days.
Part of negotiating.
Well, and what they're asking, we can't get it done in 2 hours.
We're gonna see if we're getting him on the phone. If he can
There,
do that. Yeah.
okay. Well, if we can't get it done in 2 hours, we have to do it another day.
I mean, half a day for me is 11 a.m. If that would work with the rest of the council, that's all I'm.
For me, it'd be better the days in the afternoon.
But Kathy, were you folks looking at August 1st, or were you trying to find a different date?
August 1st is
And
what
and
they
also, do you want me to participate in negotiations? It's completely up to the council, but, you know, what you want me to.
I thought we did come and back and that's exactly why I did.
I think we should go first round, so, we.
Fine, you know, if you want to try it without me at first and see where it goes, and then if things feel a little more complicated, you know, call me and do it wrong. That's perfectly fine.
Yeah, I think that's, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay, the only reason I asked is that August 1st, I'm gonna be, I actually have a trial that week, so, I'm gonna be I'm gonna be out of town on the trial, so. If you're going to August 1st, you want to be there.
I believe the consensus is
Yeah.
on the first round then.
Okay, so good, thank you, just want to mention that.
Yes, thank you.
Let's see what he says.
I'll let them know.
Yes.
All right, he said that unfortunately he has to leave for the cities immediately after the negotiations. So he said he can't, right away in the morning, he can't, but like mid-morning, he's available. And he may have to leave early, but, so as early as possible, but not right away in the morning. So I was mid-morning, 10, 11 o'clock.
So then I'll amend my motion to 11 o'clock in the morning. If that's what you need.
I'll second that. Motion by White, second by Hoheisel to do negotiations August 1st at 11 o'clock in the morning. Is that roll call?
No.
That's a Tuesday,
All in favor?
Aye.
No. Moving to D. Approve National Night Out, request schedule for Tuesday, August 1st, 2023 at 5:30 p.m.
So move.
Second.
Moved by Anderson, second by Lassie, to approve the National Night Out. All in favor? Aye. Moving on to C, ordinance number 260, establishing petty misdemeanor for unlawful use of cannabis in public areas. In a public place.
I'll move we adopt ordinance 260.
Second.
Moved by Lassie, second by Hoheisel, establishing ordinance number 260, unlawful use of cannabis in a public place, discussion. Discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
No.
Oh, roll call.
Hoheisel.
Yes.
Lassie.
Yes.
White.
Yes.
Anderson.
Yes.
Lossing.
Yes.
It's an ordinance.
Appoint Chris Coivis to the steering committee, D.
Make motion, we go ahead and appoint Chris to the steering
I'll
committee.
second that. Motion by White, second by Lawson, to appoint Chris Williams to the steering committee. Discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Moving on to E, rescheduling of campground reservations from the 2023 to the 2024 season. So what is that? Jim, you wanna take this? Okay.
Well, I think we had the reservations that were ready to fly, February 1?
Yes.
And we want to move them up so that we can get, prime, so to speak, your prime customers. Make it convenient for them so that if this is their first choice, they would reserve here. You know, instead of waiting, and sometimes people, they have to wait till February 1, they may reserve a spot somewhere else, and we miss out on their business. So what we want to do is, what did we say, November 1st? Yeah. We want to open our reservations up on November 1st, which would help us, or increase our traffic there.
Because this year we closed our doors out there October 31st.
Yeah.
So then as soon as we close our doors, we'll open it up for rescheduling for next year.
And that'll be the same thing you're doing, a first come, they have to apply first come, first served, right? Is that-
Well, we're actually going to give some of the, the seasonals will have first dibs on reserving a campsite for next year.
The question is, how many years in a row will they have first dibs?
Maybe forever.
Hey,
Yep. We can fill the campground with good people. They can keep coming back.
Is that the standard then? That's what other places do?
I don't know. I don't see any reason why not.
Most of them are, yes.
Yeah, that is, to my knowledge, that is typical standard. Like we have a motion already on that?
I'll make a motion, we change the rescheduling date to 1 November.
I'll second that.
Motion by Anderson, second by White, rescheduling campground reservations starting November 1st. Any other discussion? Roll. All in favor?
Aye.
F. Snowville ATV Club brush truck purchase.
It's not really, it's not a brush truck, unfortunately. In your packet here is the groomer that we've been working on. And we have finally been told that they're moving forward with paperwork for us to be able to do this. What I would like is from the council is that the purchase price has finally been set at $30,000. The city has to buy it, and then because of state requirements, and then the club would buy it for you, to give it back to the club. That's the only way that we can do this. But we did actually finally in here, we are approved to get this in at that point. So what I'd like to do is to have that approved so that whenever the paperwork gets here, you don't have to wait, we can get the check, we can get this in, is what we're looking for.
All right, so I'll make a motion that we purchase the brush, whatever the truck is, for the ATV club.
It's a groomer, correct?
Right.
It's a rumor, so that they can get it and then reimburse us.
I'll second.
Motion by White, second by Lassie to, so say that again, we purchase it outright and then you guys just come in and buy it from the city?
Yep.
That's all it has to be.
That's all that has to be done.
Any other discussion? Roll call?
Hoheisel,
Yes.
Lassie.
Yes.
White,
Yes.
Anderson.
Yes.
Lossing.
Yes. Oh, yeah. All these. G, Colin Warnock Recycle Center.
We just want to be able to open and close the gates. We've had a lot of incidents where people are dumping cardboard outside, household trash, and they're put paper cardboard in the cardboard shed that doesn't belong there, and it's just creating a huge mess. We just want to be able to, our guys work from 9 AM to 4 PM, and we're just wondering if we can open the gates in the morning and shut them at night, so people can close. They don't come in and just overstuff the cans, put cardboard on the side, leave their household trash on the side, and just creating a huge mess for our guys to clean up. Whenever we bring them there, where they're having to do more than what they're really supposed to do. They're having to clean up a lot of trash that it's really dirty, has rodent feces and whatnot on it. It's just becoming a nuisance, a problem. We're just kind of wondering if we can just close the place up at a certain hour, open it up in the morning. And a lot
What's
of
your
this-
thought on that,
Go ahead.
I would have to agree, it's always been a mess.
Because you're the one that opens it now, right?
We opened the
No.
recycling shed.
You guys.
Yeah,
We opened.
so they just do the shed portion, the bins are open 24 hours,
Right.
and
Now you
ever
want to shut
since,
it all down.
I mean, even if we were to be able to push the hours, if these guys can work from, instead of 3 to 4 PM, if they can work from 4 to 5 PM, then we can open the gates up at 8 AM and work from 8 to 9 AM. It's open all day, and then 5 PM, when we close the shed down, we can close the gates up. And on like Saturdays or Sundays, if these guys are around and they're not working, we staff are usually pretty good, just going and taking care of it, whether these guys are working or not, we're willing to open the gates up for the community and open the recycling up for the community as well.
Colin, do you guys see that most of that's being dumped in the evening after?
I think we've seen more dumping of regular garbage since the 1 day a week pickup
In
of
the
garbage
garbage
around
contract.
town. I think
But is
people
it
are-
happening,
It's after.
when you come back and close at 5 right now, is it looking bad already, or is it when you come the
Not
next morning,
always.
that's when all the garbage is there, the next morning?
It's-
So I have a question for Chief McGregor.
Mhm.
If they were to come to you with an address that was pulled out of a bag of garbage, not that I'm asking you to dig through garbage, because I'm not,
Yeah, that was.
would that be considered littering?
Yeah, I think we could prosecute it that way.
I
So,
would highly
I mean, there are
recommend,
signs there that say, they
we need
say
to make
no
some
dumping.
examples out of the situation if we're gonna curb it at all.
well, that was
And
gonna be my next question was, I do recall the cardboard, they're not taking the labels off of, so I mean, if we were to make a list of names and bring them in, at the end of the day every week, could we send out fines? I hate to do that, but I mean, we've made posts, you guys have made posts, and we've asked multiple times, people just, they
It's
don't
like,
care.
it's like anything else, we probably got 90% of the community doing it right and 10% ruining it for everybody else, so, go ahead, Mike.
I'd just like to add, just because we have the addresses does not necessarily mean that we can get a successful
And
prosecution.
what happens when they don't even live in the state of Minnesota?
Right, or, I could bring Counselor White's cardboard box that he borrowed me to carry something home up there. So just because we have an address, we still have to have a investigation to have a successful prosecution. So, I mean, that helps. It's a starting point, but I mean, we certainly do not have the time
And
to
the cost,
to have a list of people that dropped off cardboard boxes over the course of the week and stick one of my guys running around town chasing this down. It's just not feasible at all.
Sounds
So
like
before we get crazy, I'll make a motion that we go ahead and open the recycling center up at the requested time of, it was 8 AM, I believe, and that they go ahead and shut it down at 5 PM. I think that's a reasonable request. That's my motion.
I like that. That works for us. We can absolutely make that work.
Is there a weekend day in there? So, because some people work till 5.
It's open Saturday.
Tuesday through Saturday.
Well, before we discuss, I'm going to, for a purpose of discussion, I'm going to second the motion, and we can discuss. And I would say that misery loves company. City of Ely is going through the same baloney we are. And it occurs primarily during your summer months, not so much during the winter, but they're inundated with the same type of trash, garbage, refuse that we are. So it's generally not your locals, who are living here all year long. It's pretty much your summer residents, and so on. So when you do this, you should keep in mind that you have to look at the local population and make sure that they can do their recycling and not be too restricted.
So right now we have a motion by White, second by Lassie, to adjust the hours. So go ahead.
Yeah, just, if you would listen for a second, I think maybe, what Councilor Lassie described is accurate. And maybe we can just do those hours specifically in the summertime. In the wintertime, I drive by there all the time. It does not seem like we have that problem in the wintertime. We just have the local population here. So maybe that is something we could just do in the summertime and keep it open, longer hours or 24 hours during the winter months.
Being open 5 days a week has cut down a lot of that problem,
It
because
has.
they are open and people are not, they come up there and they wanna dump their cardboard and they don't wanna bring it back home, so they just put it alongside the building. We're not seeing a lot of that as much now. So I think being open 5 days a week has helped that problem.
And I guess my consideration too is, the local people who are working, are we going to, sort of make it so they cannot get up to the recycle shed?
No, we would make the hours longer, so, we'd be veritably open from 8 to 5, Tuesday through Saturday, for them to come in and recycle. It's those after hours that are the problem. So that's where people are coming up and they're dumping whatever.
So we're talking about closing the gates.
Yeah, but after 5 o'clock, those that are coming up there and dumping illegal, they're still dumping illegally. I've gone up there in the morning and found a pile of cardboard and garbage in that cardboard. They don't even bother to try to take it to the recycle bins. They just leave it there for whoever to take care of.
I can understand where Jim's going with that.
I
because
understand too, but
a lot of the working class people in this town do not work in this town.
right,
You work out of town, you don't get back until, I'm one of those persons that's up there about 8 at night dumping my stuff off, because that's when I finally have time, or it'll have to be a Saturday.
But it sounds like they're open on Saturdays too.
Yeah, that's it. Just have to.
we're open
We have to
Tuesday through
adjust.
Saturdays, so that's plenty of time, for people to take and bring their garbage up.
So I think this is something we should definitely try. Paul made a good point here. Let's see how much stuff's gonna end up on the outside of the fence after a month.
No.
And then this just creates a problem in a different
might
way,
create a
then we gotta
problem,
come
yes.
back to the table on this.
That works, let's hope that everybody just does their part.
So we would like you to amend your motion for a trial period of 1 month. And then we'll readdress it.
So amended,
Starting August 1st.
starting August 1st through September 1st.
And at that point, we'll be back to basically locals here pretty quick. So, all right, so motion by White, second by Lassie to change the recycle center hours. I guess we need to quote that, so 9 to 5, is that what we're doing?
8 to 5.
8 to 5?
Yeah.
8 to 5,
Tuesday through Saturday.
Tuesday through Saturday, starting August 1st. Any other discussion?
Does that mean we're closing it on, on Sunday and Monday?
Yes,
Everything's gated and closed?
they're closed Sunday, Monday.
Everybody understand that's what's gonna happen? People are gonna come up there and be a little bit picked on.
So,
We've always been closed Sunday, Monday.
Same thing.
It's not, we're not changing the days, it's just the times. They've always been
The shed
closed.
has been closed on.
The shed is always closed Sunday, Monday. Yes, I can see
Yeah,
that.
the shed is closed,
Right, I get that part.
recycling
but
is not-
the way I'm understanding it, you are going to close the gates.
Yeah,
Well, the gates close everything.
I would be willing to, as DC of the house, where one of our individuals work, I would be willing to, put the responsibility on our guys to open and shut the gate on Sunday, Monday as well. If it helps
That would
the
be
situation.
great.
And even if I'm home and these guys are out of town, I'll go up there myself and I'm on, so,
Okay,
we live here in town and, it's,
The only thing that won't be open is the shed itself,
yeah.
just
The
the,
recycling shed with the whole area, we can open up on Sunday, and Monday, and I can just have my staff do that. That's not a problem with us.
And then we'll have to get a notice in the paper with the change here.
And the sign, I suppose.
Thank you, Colin.
We should get a digital sign.
I know.
It'll be open
Yeah.
Monday
It
till-
needs a marquee. Okay, any more discussion? All in favor? Aye. Moving on to letter H, Recreation Fitness Center past due balances.
Yeah, so we have 4 accounts that are past due, 3 of which have been past due since last year.
5,
We have
4
5
from
now?
last year.
4 from last year.
Yeah.
And so we should have some options there on how we can collect on this, either small claims court or collection agency. It appears to me that a collection agency would be the way to go. Small claims court is much too costly for the amount of the accounts that are owed. I did not really see any cons of going through a collection agency.
No, I just got the collection agency info with our packet.
Yep.
And I really haven't had a chance to look it over.
So the highlights, but if you want more time, but I'll just give you some of the numbers. So the collections agency, for the first 30 days it's in their office, it's 10%, they receive 10% of the past due account. And then after that, it goes to 35%. And then if they have to take legal action, small claims court, then they take 50% of the account that they're collecting.
I think this should be directed to city staff. It should not be up to us to collect for these dues.
No, but I didn't want to make a decision on whether we should make these moves without your approval.
I think this information should stay at the city hall. So.
I think as we go forward and we discuss, and when Kathy's ready and we can get credit cards implemented for some of these payments like this, we will eliminate some of these problems, and I know that she's working towards that, so when we, hopefully, once that happens, some of this stuff will, we'll be able to charge people whether they're showing up or not until they stop their membership. But that doesn't help us today.
No, I did not. I know that on the public utility side of it, whenever somebody does not make their payment, the commissioners are not involved at all. That is strictly for the city office to determine, and the workers shut them off or collect whatever they have to. It's the commissioners do not mess with who's done what or whatever. It's just not right.
But Paul, you guys can shut off the water if they're not paying their water bill. How do we collect unpaid bills by people who are just ignoring?
I'm assuming they received letters that they're delinquent.
Yeah, and then we've also changed the way that we do, like the system that I came in, they had up to 3 months before we shut them off. We're sending out the bill on the 15th, and then if they don't pay by the 1st, then they are shut off, so that we don't have any more outstanding bills in the future. So that's been changed. And all your other bills that you would collect from people, those can be added on to their taxes at the end of the year, whereas fitness center doesn't qualify for any of that. So that's why it's here. I did not feel like it was appropriate for me to make a move and decide that on my own.
I mean, I'm at a point where I don't even care if RCB collects and keeps all the money that they owe. I just think we need to have something where there's repercussions for not paying the bills. So, I hear what you're saying, Paul, but I make a motion, we go ahead and send those accounts to RCB collections. They're pretty good, just so we can start holding people accountable for paying the bills.
Does Caitlin need our approval to do that?
I don't know. It's-
Go ahead, Tom.
So I think that this is something that you're trying to set up more collectively as a city action as opposed to these individual account holders. Right, like I think what you really want here is a process in place to be able to collect, as opposed to taking this on a case-by-case basis.
That's what I'm saying.
Right. So it's not so much that Caitlin needs approval or anybody needs approval. I think the city needs to set up a process to do this.
So city staff would actually take care of this.
Yes.
It would not be brought in front of us.
Yes,
Exactly.
no, we are giving them authority to have that process to be able to deal with the people that owe money.
Because it has never been done in the past.
Correct.
Right.
This is a new problem that the city has encountered. And yes.
Well, I agree. I think we should go with the collection agency because there's no sense being Mr. Nice Guy. People aren't paying dues or fees that they've enjoyed the service, so I'd say turn it over.
Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
I made the motion.
Sorry, Joe made the motion.
Then it gives Kathy some leverage.
So basically, do a motion on the table by White, second by Lassie, to have Caitlin work with the city staff,
Any,
or in each, right? And we implement using collection agencies on our delinquent bills. No matter what that bill is delinquent for. Any discussion? Roll call.
Weisel,
Yes.
Lassie,
yes.
White,
Yes.
Anderson,
Yes.
Lossing.
Yes. Okay, letter I, Public Safety Committee recommendations to grant leave of absence to Sherry Brill and Andy Grovich from ambulance.
I make the motion that we go ahead and allow them to leave of absence.
I'll second that motion.
Motion by White, second by Anderson to grant leave of absence to Andy and Sherry. Discussion?
Well, just for information, is this a specified time period or indefinite or what?
6 months.
6 months? Okay.
Yeah, that's on our letters, Jim, that was.
Okay, I didn't see that. so,
Yes,
yeah.
city has.
Okay.
And I would just like to say, thank you guys for all the service you gave to this point, and we hope to see you back.
Hope to
You're a
be
very
back.
valuable part of what we've got going on in EMS, and, thank you. So, motion by Joe, motion by White, second by Anderson. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
J, Public Safety Committee recommendation to appoint Troy Bissonette as interim assistant ambulance director.
Make a motion that we go ahead and approve the motion to let Troy Bissonette be the assistant director until the next election.
Second.
Motion by White, second by Hoheisel, to make Troy Bissonette the interim assistant ambulance director. Discussion? Hearing none? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? K, delete item 15D ordinance number 261 regarding loitering at the beach boat landing.
It's not before us, so we've already deleted that.
Right. Yeah, that's all right.
So we should cross that one off, move on.
Yeah.
L, schedule 2024 budget meeting.
I'm recommending mid-August. Set up a meeting with all of the supervisors, put all the things together, have time to collect numbers.
And when would you want the council then to do that mid-August? Is that when you're asking for the council meeting?
Yeah, we need to be present as a council.
Let's make a request that we do it after the 20th, because I'm in vacation. I'd like to be here for that. I get back on the 20th of August. So I make a motion, we do it anytime between the 21st and 25th. I don't care what time.
When are you leaving for vacation?
I leave on the 11th, so I'm sure we'd have to do it at the beginning of the month. Then. It's basically just that week I'm gone.
Have the department heads been given budget sheets yet, or?
No, and then that, I have worries about it being as early as the 8th.
I'm fine.
So when would it be convenient for the department heads to put it together?
I'm not sure, I haven't started work on it, I haven't received a packet yet, so I don't know, I can't say, it's my first time doing it, so I don't know how large of a task this is going to be.
We'll make it easy for you, just give us last year's or this year's.
Yeah.
That gives you 3 weeks,
Okay,
if we did it on the 8th.
okay.
Give you 3 weeks to get it in.
Just look at the old, look at the new.
And staff will help you. I know it's your first budget, so.
Who, Steph?
Staff.
Oh, staff. It was staff.
That's your alternate.
Okay, August 8th, what time?
We have to start early because that takes hours and hours and hours. It's an all-day affair. We usually start at, 9 o'clock?
Yeah.
We'll get done till 2 or later.
And I say we do it at 9. I make a motion August 8th at 9 a.m.
Second.
Is that a Monday or Tuesday?
Tuesday.
Motion by White, second by Hoheisel, to have budget meeting August 8th, starting at 9. So you said you started at 9, you got done by 2.
4, 3.
It depends if you can.
That's 5 hours.
Yeah.
When we started 1 week, you'd be done by 6.
No
And
guarantee.
some of us working people wouldn't lose so much money.
Department heads would have to put in overtime too.
Okay. I didn't think you'd go for that.
I've been around too long, Dwayne.
I wouldn't say that,
I'd be disappointed if I didn't get a shot down there.
That was Jerry going on.
Right.
Any other discussion?
Yeah, they need to vote on it.
Roll call.
It's a motion. All those in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
No. 11E, transfer of funds. Okay, that one's done.
Make motion to adjourn.
Second.
Next meeting will be held at August 1st at 5 o'clock. All in favor of the motion? Aye. Meeting adjourned. I mean,
That's the
now we gotta move into BDA meeting. Call the Babbitt Economic Development meeting to order at 6:04. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Anyway, roll call.
Hoheisel.
Here.
Lassie.
Here.
White.
Here.
Anderson.
Here.
Lossing.
Here. Public input.
Person wants to buy.
I see no public input. Approved minutes of regular meeting held June 20th, 2023.
So moved.
Second. Moved by Lassie, second by Hoheisel, approve the minutes. All in favor?
Aye.
Additions or deletions? Additions or deletions? Hearing none. Item number 6, loan update.
Okay, I noticed we have some delinquency there, and what's being done? Have we, anything done in the office, Ken?
Yes, I have several unreturned phone calls and letters that have been sent. I have not sent a certified letter yet, just United States Postal Service. So far, no response.
Get a bunch of them certified and registered letters. It's done. And with the, make sure we contact Mitch and what needs to be said in the letter.
Okay, that's just a question I had.
All that delay.
July, I would ignore the Julys because we are not to the end of July. They have.
Yeah.
First of the month.
Any more discussion on the loan update? Unfinished business.
No, you need a second and.
I made a motion that. we
I'll second that.
Send a registered letter.
Oh, yes. Motion by Anderson, second by Hoheisel to send a registered letter to the delinquent people with loans. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, none. Moving on, unfinished business. New business?
Move to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Okay, who did what?
I move to adjourn.
Lassie Anderson.
I was just.
I'm having the last word.